It's the question every Browns fan is asking. Why won't Kevin Stefanski give Shedeur Sanders a shot? The offense can't score, the quarterback room's a mess, and the one guy with the energy and leadership is stuck on the sideline.
Focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus. Focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus. Focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
Mary Kay had asked Kevin Stefanski, why won't he play Shedeur? And you see his response, man. It's getting ridiculous. At this point, in my opinion, I'm believing Kevin 100% do not believe or even like Shedeur. That's why he's doing it. And I'm it looks like he's making it personal. I don't know why he's making it personal, but it seems like he is making not playing Shedeur a personal thing and not a logical coaching move to help the team. I don't understand.
Conversations in general about Dylan coming off the Miami game and my frustration with those conversations to then come out to this game where it's the difference of turnover-worthy plays versus blatant turnovers. And I think the other big thing for people was we watched him try to throw the ball down the field, and he just doesn't have touch, which is supposed to be the thing the supercomputer has.
He's got none of it. And listen, I'll still defend what happened in the Miami game. I just don't think that's an awful game when you go 13 of 18. I don't. But if I have three other games where I think you were just kind of whatever, or even on the other side of it, whatever or awful, it's just we've seen enough at this point. I don't need a million games to diagnose what I need to see. But yesterday was the perfect setup. And this is what made me so angry and what really tipped me over the edge here. Although for 7 months I said I don't think he's a good football player, is the idea that you have a pretty bad Patriots pass defense. Mm-hmm. It is a Chamber of Commerce type day. It is 55 degrees. There was less than 10 miles per hour of wind. It is a perfect setup to have an awesome day from a quarterback standpoint. You could not have been gifted a better setup outside of playing the Bengals defense. You can't play a better situation, and he looked unplayable. So there's no like, oh, he'll get him next week. That's not going to happen. When you look that bad against that defense, it's never going to happen.
Listen, I just never bought it.
It ain't nothing new. We seen this in training camp, man. He was overthrowing, throwing interceptions, and not reading the defense in training camp. So like I said, I'm thinking it's more personal with Kevin now, not to play Shedeur. You sit here and gotta pick a player in the third round when he projected the fourth, the fifth, the sixth round, and then you had a player projected to be in the first round, and you draft him in the fifth round. You gotta prove that Dylan Gabriel, all that talk you said, is your guy. But it's consistently being seen that Dylan Gabriel is not that guy. Quit trying to force it, Kevin, because you keep trying to force it. You keep trying to force a circle in a square, it ain't gonna fit.
Into the guy, so I'm like the wrong guy to defend him. The only defense you actually have of Dylan Gabriel is time, right? With more time, if his brain slows down, maybe he gets better at that. I think you have to worry about that kind of loss. Like, when you've got 4 blowouts in 8 weeks, you have to really think, okay, how do we keep this thing on the track? Because every blowout feels like you are 5% more off track. Like, again, I took Kevin Stefanski, and people deduced that in the thing, Kevin doesn't come out and say Dylan Gabriel's still the starter. The question was, is Dylan still the starter? And then Kevin says, we got to do everything better, and yes. So that yes was to the original question, is Dylan Gabriel still the starter?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
If you're Kevin Stefanski, how can you save face and throw Dylan out there unless you're using this as a negotiating ploy to get something in return? Which, again, that is so cynical. It would piss me off more if my read on this is 100% true, but I think that's where we are with the Browns.
This man came straight off the field, didn't look at no film, and said Dylan Gabriel is still my starter after the bye week. If that don't scream personal against Shedeur, if that don't scream, hey, I don't care, I'm sticking with this guy. But the Jimmy Haslam said we ain't seen enough of Dylan Gabriel. That's probably why he said it too. The owner, he got to go by what the owner say. He did say that. But at the same time, man, if you trying to win or even be competitive and you ain't getting good quarterback play, you only gave Joe Flacco 4 games. Why you still trying to stick with Dylan Gabriel then? Just move on to Shedeur. And then if Shedeur don't go work, go back to Dylan Gabriel. But hey, they ain't gonna do it because it's too many games left to play Shedeur. It's too many games left. Too many.
What does he want in return?
I don't. Well, maybe a guarantee if we go to Shedeur, I'm safe, something like that.
But do you see how just backwards that is as far as a negotiating ploy? When Shedeur seems like the only thing that could save his job to begin with anyway.
I don't think he thinks Shedeur's going to save his job.
Okay, and he might not think that way, but it feels dumb to look at Dylan Gabriel and think something's going to happen differently with him. I guess I'm trying to figure out what exactly his big play is, because if you're gonna try to, basically what you're doing is you're holding some sort of a threatening card against Barry and Haslam to be in what you're suggesting here, that if you don't play, I'll play Gabriel, basically to spite you in many ways?
No, I'll play Gabriel because it's my call and I believe in Gabriel more than Shedeur, and if you want me to play the other guy, you have to incentivize me.
Yeah, but if the incentive to be incentivized by the idea that then you'd keep your job after that, if you're already pulling off moves that are in the base and the heart of it is almost just a pure threat. It feels like you're already headed for divorce anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where we are though. I think we're in the very treacherous waters of.
But you see how cold and almost unredeemable that is. It's like if I was in a marriage and I had to use basically threats to get what I wanted in the marriage, that marriage is already cooked.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has been going on for a while. I think the tension's been simmering with Barry and Stfansky. And again, it's professional tension. They can like each other as much as they can thought partner as much as they like. At some point, Barry's thoughts went to the future. Well, Stfansky still got to coach through a season.
If that Kevin play of, did just his opinion, did just my opinion. If that's Kevin play of using Shedeur as a pawn to keep his job, he need to be fired anyway. What coach is doing that, bro? I ain't never heard a coach do that. As far as using the player, I'm going to play this dude because y'all want me to play Shedeur. I'm going to play Dylan Gabriel despite y'all because I control who play. That makes no sense, bro. Now, not only is you hurting the team, you hurting two players. You hurting the full team. Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward over there. That's why Myles Garrett up there throwing his helmet on the sideline because he getting that crazy quarterback play, the terrible quarterback play. Then you hurt two players in the process. You hurting Dylan Gabriel because you using Dylan Gabriel just not to play Shedeur. And then you using Shedeur by not playing him because you trying to keep your job. Kevin, if you was doing a good job, it wouldn't matter. Do your job the right way, then it wouldn't matter who you were playing at quarterback or you trying to use Shedeur to keep your job. If you put Shedeur in, you might keep your job because he's going to be a better player and play better than Dylan Gabriel. You're doing everybody what they want to see, what they're asking for. You're giving everybody what they're asking for and doing a favor for everybody because they want to see Shedeur play. How you think playing Dylan Gabriel and not playing Shedeur, and then you're going to make a threat that say, if I play Shedeur, I want to keep my job. Shedeur going to save your job regardless. Y'all might even have a chance to go to the playoffs.
So I think this also ties into the idea that we've said a million times. This is, at some point, it's just accepted as common knowledge. Kevin would rather lose his way than win anyway. I think the same thing applies to these quarterbacks. And don't just take my word for it. Today, Kevin was asked about Shedeur, and he was asked about Shedeur's injury and the idea of playing Shedeur going forward.
Put him through a pregame warm-up, and obviously just didn't feel like he was ready to play. He's getting better every day, and I'm hopeful that he'll continue to improve.
Why wouldn't you, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
Okay. Obviously,
yeah, that answer made no sense to me.
That made no sense, and I'll be honest with you, I think he knew it made no sense.
Okay, so wait.
There's no defending that kind of answer.
No, there isn't. So are you making the suggestion And listen, I don't even know. You might be dead on the money on this one. Okay, I want to flesh this thing out completely here. That Stfansky will play Dillon Gabriel, and if they at any point say you have to go to Shedeur, he'll just continue to say no and no and no, and you know the end result of that.
Yes,
he's asking to get fired.
Yes, or I think there's a lot
like mid-season, he's asking to get fired. Either I play Dillon Gabriel and I'm not moving to Shedeur, and if you want me to move to Shedeur, guess what? You have to fire me.
Something like that. I don't know it'll ever get to that extremes, but do I think Kevin is standing his ground with Dillon? 100%.
See, that's what I'm saying is personal, man. If you don't want to be the coach no more, just step down. If you want Dillon Gabriel, if you like Dillon Gabriel that much, step down, bro. Let Dillon Gabriel have his career, let Shedeur have his career. If you that in between plan is either Dillon Gabriel or my job, go ahead and leave. Because this shouldn't even, man, look, you couldn't do this in the workplace. So why he able to do it? You can't demand I'm gonna play Dillon Gabriel. I want Dillon Gabriel, but y'all want me to play Shedeur. The owner wants you to play Shedeur, but you're gonna go against the owner. Nah, bro. Fire him, get up out of there. That's ridiculous, man. If that's true, that's crazy. For real, bro. You trying to hold Shedeur hostage. You holding Shedeur hostage on the team. Andrew Barry wants Shedeur. Jimmy Haslam wants Shedeur. But Kevin wants Dillon Gabriel. Now y'all against each other. Y'all pitted against each other. Now we forced to see Dillon Gabriel play just because the head coach don't like Shedeur and don't want to play Shedeur and want to be like a bad child and do the opposite of what the parents say. This is, bruh, please tell me this ain't true. Please tell me this is not true.
Dillon. He wanted Dillon to be here. I think Shedeur was forced on him. I think with the difference in the way they've treated these two quarterbacks since day one, there's every which way they've treated the quarterbacks, that's up to Kevin. And the idea that your handpicked quarterback who just played, listen, are the receivers great? Absolutely not. Is the offensive line a bunch of world beaters? Certainly not. Quinshawn couldn't make a 4-yard run to save his ass yesterday, right? It was a brutal day at the offense. And somehow your handpicked quarterback was the worst thing on it. And by the way, this has been Kevin the whole way. Dillon Gabriel looked awful in camp. He still got every first-team rep when he was healthy enough to do so that Joe Flacco didn't get. Right?
No, he was trying to force Dillon on everyone.
And so he's looked progressively worse through these 3 games, and the 4 games, and Kevin Stefanski still standing by him. That is the proof that he believes in Dillon and he doesn't believe in Shedeur. Right or wrong, he's making a stand on these quarterbacks. I don't think that's even deniable at this point.
No. And it's part of what I've been maintaining for a while. That's where the morning guys got it all confused when I'm like, Stefanski doesn't like Shedeur. They thought I meant personally, but clearly if you paid attention to me, there was nothing personal about it. I meant from a football standpoint. Like there's something about Shedeur that Stefanski doesn't vibe with, which at this point though, I would wonder and I would question why he just isn't making the obvious move to try to save himself, because at this point it seems apparent that Dillon's not going to do it, but it might be stubbornness. It might be that he believes that there's not enough time. Whatever it is, something's holding Stfansky back here.
Where I beg to differ, I think it's personal, like I've been saying. Now, Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, y'all need to step up and say something, bro, because this is y'all prime careers at the moment. This is y'all careers that they sitting here wasting. Kevin Stefanski sitting up here wasting another year of y'all career with being mad or don't like Shedeur and not being forcing us to watch Dillon Gabriel and not playing Shedeur. He is wasting another year of y'all career, Miles. Step up and say something. I'm pretty sure the owner gonna listen to you because you are the franchise cornerstone and maybe second best player that ever played on the Browns behind Jim Brown. So you need to go to the front office, sit in Jimmy Haslam's office in that seat across from him, your 6'4", 250-pound muscle bound, and sit there and say, Jimmy, place your door or get rid of Kevin. That's what you need to do, bro. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous.
I just think it's as simple as, because what's the thing we can say about Kevin? Kevin can be a little arrogant and he can be a little stubborn. And I think he's being stubborn and arrogant on the quarterback decision.
Yeah, and I think it's incredibly stupid of him. But I thought a lot of that, what he's done in this whole stretch is stupid. I thought it's stupid the entire time that he's put Dylan above Shedeur. I think it's stupid the entire time that he's tried to tell us that Dylan's some awesome supercomputer and everything else when we have no evidence of that. So, like, me and Stfansky just aren't on the same page right now. It's as simple as that.
Wow. Hopefully the thought partners, 216-474-0092. Will Kevin actually bench Dylan Gabriel? I feel like that decision's being collectively bargained.
When you do things that just don't make sense and are objectively stupid, I don't think he's stupid, but when you can't even figure this out from a football standpoint, that's where it stops adding up, Nick, and it stops making sense. And it's been this way for a little bit with Stfansky, but it's even just further evidence by what we've seen now.
It's all in that report that came out a couple weeks ago that the Browns don't want Baker, or they don't want Shedeur to be the next Baker. That's a lot about Kevin had trouble for his role. I don't think Kevin's the main reason Baker isn't here. But I think Kevin found Baker tough to handle and tough to lead or control, however you want to say it.
Yeah.
And I think he looks at Shedeur and says, all right, I'm already not invested in him. The ownership group clearly favors him more than I do. What power do I have if Shedeur comes in, plays real well, and then is out here talking the way Shedeur acts and talks in the media?
The setup that is incredibly stupid for what I believe to be a smart person is that he would rather lose and lose his way than go out with winning with Shedeur and actually getting his reputation back.
Yep.
And that's the part that is it's just dumb. Like it doesn't make sense. And I think you're right in your assessment. I'm not disagreeing with any part of that. I just think we need to highlight how incredibly stupid that is. Like if my job was on the line, I'm going to do whatever it takes to keep that job. I'm not going to then be like, well, I guess I got to do it my way. What an idiot.
For a long
Man, that is dumb. You would rather not play Shedeur to keep your job. You rather not try to win a different way because you want to lose your way. It makes no sense. Like they said, this whole quarterback competition, this whole training camp, this whole quarterback tracker, this whole drafting two quarterbacks in the same draft, this whole signing Kenny Pickett, Joe Flacco, then trading them, this whole then had Dylan Gabriel and then didn't want to elevate Shedeur, the QB2, and then Bailey zapping, Shedeur getting hurt mysteriously again. All this don't make no sense.
Got to do it my way. What an idiot.
For a long time, part of the narrative with Shedeur has been, well, if Shedeur wasn't here, you wouldn't be clamoring to see the next guy. I think we've officially reached the point with Dylan that you could have Bailey as the backup right now. You could have DTR as the backup. And I think people would say, this is not playable. This cannot continue the way it is. And if Kevin doesn't, you can't tell me it's about Dylan Gabriel. Or rather, you can't tell me that it's just simply because he believes in Dylan. There has to be something more. Kevin is too smart to see the same thing you and I are seeing going, this is good enough. No, this is not good enough. And you've got very little time before the locker room starts seeing the same thing you and I are, because you can... They're in their little confines there. It is easy to continue saying, no, there's a lot of good football here, this, that, and the other. At some point, that locker room's going to know the truth, too.
And all it really does in the meanwhile is highlight for the people like myself that have believed the entire time that Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel. And the only evidence against that was, well, Stfansky knows what he's doing. Stfansky's a quarterback guru, this and that. Okay. All right. I think we're seeing what exactly his narratives and his directives are here.
When Kevin loses his locker room, that's when everything going to implode. They're going to blow up from the inside out. It's already snowballing, but then when it get to that head, man, in that locker room, Garrett, Denzel Ward, come on now. Come on. All these veteran players, come on now. When they get a rift in that locker room, that's when it's been time for Kevin to go. Now you got to fix that. Now you got an even bigger problem because now it's affecting the whole team. Your personal vendetta against Shedeur is affecting the whole team now because you forcing us to watch Dylan Gabriel and you forcing Dylan Gabriel to be something he ain't. My savage! Moneymane and the thing
gang, give a T and playing no games. Should already know my name when I speak in CC flame. Got my YouTube poppin', man. Like, subscribe and everything in between. You already know. Money, man. You all